The biggest misconception when it comes to support is the way players and teams think they are meant to protect them, specifically with regards to positioning. Obviously, supports are really important, they're generally the squishiest characters on the team, and setting up your supports and taking down the enemy supports is often the overarching win condition for both teams, especially with more spread out comps like Dive. Players of all ranks know this and they try to protect them, but the way many players try to do this is by getting the support to clump up with the core of their team. The idea is that they can act as some sort of melee ranged bodyguards. This is really ineffective for a load of reasons and makes your supports pretty uncomfortable. First off, it massively limits their LOS, meaning they can't really react to teammates outside of the main group who actually need help, or react to enemies pressuring the flanks. Both that and the support's proximity to the front line almost negates the enemy team's need to stage, because enemies can just jump in from anywhere without even having to work past any part of your team. Plus, their bad LOS means they can't contest flankers themselves from range, and they also can't help teammates and their skirmishes from map control. If you see my last video, you'd know why that's such a massive issue. This enables the enemy team to take flanks pretty much for free, and remember, this too contributes to a lot of clumping up of your team, making enemy engages much more effective, because you're in this tight little bundle and it's super easy to surround and also get poke on. When a bulk of your team is getting caught in a single dive, this is really bad, not just because of the AoE damage from characters like Venom, Black Panther, but more because it ties over enough in the brawl and makes it easy for heroes such as Star-Lord and Iron Fist to find and burn down distracted targets. As a support, you never want to be caught in the dive. Not because you might die, but also because focusing on surviving is taking up a lot of your attention. That plus your insufficient LOS makes it really difficult to peel for your team. On top of that, you'll also be absorbing heals from your other support, and your team are really going to struggle with neither of you being able to help them properly. I'm going to make a video on attention as a resource as well as the division of labor as a support, but for now let's stay focused on protecting the supports. So instead of clumping up, what you should try to do is insulate your supports. I talk about map control and staging quite a lot. You can think of this as sort of the defensive side of that. The basic idea is that as a team, instead of directly guarding those supports, you protect them by giving them space to work in. Instead of clumping up to try to protect them from enemies jumping in, you contest those areas and those enemies. Filling the map and having good spacing between your team and your support is really important for a lot of reasons. First off, as a support, it gives you much better line of sight. If you have a player skirmishing on the flank, you'll actually be able to help them as well as spot enemies trying to get around your team. Being outside of the main clump will also stop you from catching unnecessary trash damage. Also, that means the enemy team actually needs to stage to be able to dive onto you. And those staging positions that they need for an effective dive, your team will be in a good position to contest using your help from range. Meaning you can often stop their attempt to a coordinated engage before it even happens. If they just go onto your team, you won't be directly caught in the fight, and you'll have literal and mental space to be able to effectively support them. If they do find a way to go on you, not only will it be a super messy engage, but they also won't be able to stage very well. But the best part is, your team won't be fully caught in the dive, meaning they can freely help you both with direct peels such as mag bubble and with range damage. This also opens up the option for your team to take advantage of all of the enemy attention you're drawing deep by engaging on the enemy supports without being contested. There's a lot of nuance to this and different techniques when it comes to spacing like this, and it's more dependent on comps as well as the map, but the simplest and by far most common way of doing this is setting up a strong side. I'll make a video talking about strong sides soon, but to sum it up, although there are some heroes who might individually want to stay close to their support, clumping them up with the whole team doesn't really protect them. Instead, you want to try to insulate them with your team. You want to control areas ahead of your supports that the enemy need to be in to threaten them. This is really the foundation for good positioning, as it gives the team a lot of options later on in the fight. One thing I want to say is, this is also on your support player to protect themselves. Some support players, they try to push up too much with their team, and I'm going to use Midtown first point as an example because I think it's a really well designed point. Right here, as a support, you don't need to push up around this corner. You can sit right here in this doorway. You have walls for cover. They have to do a lot of work to stage to try to dive you. You're relatively safe here and you can do your job. And once your team takes the bend, you can run through this left side here. And you can see, even if your entire team was in a clump on cart and not taking the power positions above, you would still be okay. So this is not just on the team, it's also on the support to be very aware of their position and to play around what your team is actually doing. You need to adapt to the game. Not everybody's going to play perfect. Not everybody's going to play like the pros. You need to adjust to what your team is doing and what options that you are given. And there's going to be games where your team sucks, where your team's not giving you any options, and you guys get rolled. And it is what it is. You queue up and go next. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to post every single day. So if you like this type of content, there's plenty more to come. And I'm also going to be doing a bunch of VOD reviews. I'll see you guys next time.